I think a lot of artists today find influence in. You had to look up to somebody.
Yeah.
At some point, right? So.
Even if you didn't look up to him, somebody you looked up to probably looked up to him.
Absolutely.
Like it's a.
Absolutely.
I feel that same way about Kanye though. Like, I feel like even now, like the newer artists, like even if you don't look at Kanye or don't care, like if you like Travis Scott, you know, it's the same thing.
I can dig that. I can dig that. Everybody, like Kanye went through phases.
Yeah.
That's all determined by what was going on in his life at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody should. You should evolve at some point.
Yeah.
Now whether you own the new wave that he's on now or not, to be determined. But yeah, you definitely gotta be. At some point, you vibe to a Kanye song.
Yeah, like come on.
People might not be on Drake right now, but at some point, we was all vibing to Drake.
Bro,
like,
come on.
The amount of content, the body of work is.
Come on, he don't have one
infinite.
bad album. Like he don't. In my opinion, he don't have one bad album.
That.
Yeah.
I cannot dispute that at all. I cannot dispute that at all, bro.
Oh, OnSight.
Listen, in order to keep up with the latest content, knowing we're dropping new episodes, new podcasts, new material, make sure you are subscribed. OnSight Media Group on YouTube. Follow us on all social media platforms at OnSight Media Group. Make sure you click that notification bell so you know every single time that we drop new content on the channel, all right? For the people that don't know, which too many shouldn't, but if they don't know, I have to formally introduce you.
For sure.
This guy is a singer-songwriter, a producer. Your last project, and correct me if I'm saying this wrong, is it Love Do?
Love FM, yeah.
Love FM. Love FM. Love FM.
That was the full length version. I was trying to be on some artsy stuff, and instead of saying deluxe, I put that little, you know.
I love it. I love it. Cause yeah, we got to talk about some of them records too.
For sure.
You sampled one of my favorites, and we're gonna get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know, Mr. Solomon Headen.
Yes, sir.
Listen, appreciate you sitting down with us today, man.
Hey, I appreciate you having me.
Been waiting for this opportunity for a little while too.
Yeah, this a long time coming.
Yeah.
It's a long time coming, and most people, this cause you really know me for real. Most people be like Solomon Headen. Since I moved to Atlanta, like everybody be like, yeah, Solomon Headen. I'm like, bruh, how do you get that?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if
I don't
you look
know.
at the spelling,
I don't know. It's
Headen.
That's it. It's like
Headen.
But it'd be the only people who say it right is the people who really know me for real. Like everybody else say Solomon Headen.
Maybe it's just the country accent, bro, because we from the South.
Oh no.
You all over the place with it. You in LA, you in New York, so
yes, sir.
You get different accents, so they're gonna pronounce it differently.
Yes, sir. But I'm glad to be here. Like it's a full circle moment because you shot. I don't know. You probably noticed, but you shot my first video ever.
I do remember that.
Yeah, like
you talking about the
with my friends.
With my friends, okay.
Yeah, okay. outside of like the cypher stuff, but like you shot my first official video ever. Like before that, I've had like little on the phone, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like my first full length video was from you. So this is a full circle moment.
It's a blessing to have that opportunity. I'm just thankful that you trusted me with that vision.
Of course.
We were able to bring it to life for you.
Of course.
So yeah, let's get into it then. We talking about some of the older projects. So overall, what is like your musical background? Because you got an extensive, and I think all good music derives from somewhere. So I heard somebody say in the interview, like all the good soul singers, the good singers always started off in church. So how much do you believe that to be true?
I feel like honestly it might just be the truth. Like I can only speak for myself and the people I know, but like, so I started off, I'll go back. I started off before we even get to singing, I started off playing drums. So like growing up.
Musician, yeah.
Yeah, musician, like growing up, I could always sing cause like my mom sing, my family do all that, but I was low key, which it sound weird to say now, but I was low key like ashamed of like singing cause I thought it was like lame or like, you know what I'm saying? Being like 8 and singing, it won't cool yet. It only got cool when we was in high school singing to girls. Like it won't cool yet.
I can't deny.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, that's the singer boy. That's what it was then.
Right.
So I was like, nah, I was playing drums. So started off on some marching band stuff. Like I would go to band camps every summer from FAMU. Like that was my background, like just drums, church, and then one day my mama made me lead a song, like actually made me like, nah, I don't care what you're talking about, you're gonna lead this.
Light, yeah. She saw that light. She had to make sure you got out of your comfort zone.
And man, I'm so glad she did. I'm so glad she did, because from that day on, like literally, like I never stopped singing, and I fell in love with it. And I still like, I still play drums now. I still like, you know, like even on live stuff that I do, I go back and redub the drums because I just want to play it. But
nice.
I just fell in love with singing from that point on. So, but I do agree with you though. Like a lot of the R&B or pop singers that I know, they have their roots somehow, some way in church, and it gives you. I think what it really does is allow you to tap into deep emotion. Like I feel like you have to break through that barrier of deep emotion to handle any situation in church. Mm-hmm. And so when it comes to writing about love or heartbreak or some toxic stuff or whatever it is, you get to tap into that deep emotion because you know you familiar with that space. So
nice.
That's the upbringing. That's the upbringing for sure.
Okay. So from North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Even though
Sanford, North Carolina.
I don't necessarily think you rep the trap. I've never heard you talk about it. And it might be a bad thing to say the trap. But.
Nah, every interview, every show, I say I'm from Sanford, North Carolina. Like I'm now, because I was raised in Durham. Mm-hmm. I was raised in Durham, so it's like it's tricky because if I say I'm from Sanford, somebody who went to middle school, high school, he like, bro, he from Durham. And then if I say I'm from Durham, everybody who really know my mama, my auntie, like my family, they like, he not from Durham, he from the trap. I'm like, bro, I am technically from Sanford, North Carolina. I was born here. My family here, my roots here, but I was raised in Durham. Right. So like my high school, elementary, middle school was there. It's both, you know what I'm saying? Like I went to church here. I went to Boys and Girls Club, OT Sloan here. Like, I'm really from both. It's hard to explain. Like,
I get it, bro. I get it. I just wanted to make sure we clarify.
Nah, yeah, we have to. We have, because some people think I'm from Atlanta. I'm not from Atlanta. I love Atlanta, and I'm so grateful they like embraced me, because that is one thing. Like, I felt love and embrace from Atlanta as soon as I got there. But I am not from there. I'm from Sanford, North Carolina, and I want that to be known, because I feel like it's a badge of honor. Like, it's like when you really accomplish things and you look at where you come from, like you already know, like we don't have a lot to work with. We don't have a lot to start with.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't necessarily have the resources that some of the bigger cities have, but it's a great magnitude of talent in this area. So.
That's why, like, anytime I see, even like we hear, it's like, to see us come from a place where it's like it's not a lot of options, and we look at what we got and we make something crazy just with what we got. Right. It's like, I'm proud to be from Sanford. So yeah, I'm from here for sure. So
do you feel this area or North Carolina in general had any influences on your music, and if so, what are those?
I think it had influences in two ways. Okay. So I think it was a good way, and I think it was a partially negative way. I think the good way is you can go to a show and just throw the mic in the crowd, and 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be able to kill. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so many singers here, so many musicians here, and I think just being in that, and like, I think one of the things that changed my life is like one of our, I call them my like OG, but like they moved from Maryland back to North Carolina. And they was just showing me like all the chords and stuff like that, and it's just like this being from here put me in the deep end of learning my craft like very early. I think though, on the other end, because it is a small town, I did at a certain point have to, and just my personal journey, I did at a certain point have to separate and like move away just to get outside of like any small town mentality and just like think like, what do I want to do? Absolutely. How do I want to sound? What kind of music do I want to make? And so, but once I found that, I'm able to come back to this place and have a new love for it. Like, man, if it wasn't for this person or this person, I wouldn't even know or probably want to do music. I'd probably be on some fashion stuff or like something else. But yeah, so they had an influence in both ways. So
I can definitely agree with that. I mean, I even have some of that same story. I had to move away in order to experience life outside of Sanford in order to really grow. So no, I think that's big.
I don't think people understand, like, Sanford is small, but it's huge when you hear.
Right.
It's like it's a whole world, and I don't think people understand it unless they live here. They don't know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think, and everybody don't have to do that. Everybody don't have to move away, but I think for the people who have, they understand, like, you need that second to say, all right, not what my mama think, not what my coach at J whatever think. Like, if I don't have no expectations of me, who do I become? And I had to learn that. I had to figure that out. So yeah.
Dope. Okay. So like we said, you started off in church.
Yeah. And
now you on the R&B wave.
Yeah.
Like, so talk to me about R&B now, man, because you're not old, but you definitely have an old soul. So you grew up, I know, definitely listening to, respecting the 90s, the 2000 R&B sound.
For sure.
And unless you really dig deep for it now, like, R&B is not that today in 2025. And I'm not against these new R&B artists, but it's just like, this is what I'm gonna compare it to. The turn of hip hop. I feel like one of the first people that really started singing on rap records would be Ja Rule. And then he just kind of took that and ran with it, right? And I feel like now a lot of the R&B cats are merging the rap inside of the R&B. So overall, like, what is the deal with the new age R&B music?
Okay, so I'm gonna answer that. Is Ja Rule?
I'm not gonna say he was the first.
Okay.
I won't say he was the first,
but he made it. He did do it big.
Correct. It was
him,
like
Nelly.
Once he found that, like, yes, definitely Nelly.
Yes. 50. Like, these are the. Come on.
I wouldn't say 50 is singing as
Candy
much.
Shop. He's singing. It's a melody.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that.
Wankster. He's singing like he's a singer.
No, valid point.
But I think, but yeah, cause I was thinking in my head, I'm like, it's a few like really, really like great rappers that did do that melody thing. So I was just thinking in my head, but that was it. No. As far as R&B, I gotta disagree. I feel like it's in a phenomenal space right now, and this is why. This is why I feel like it's in a phenomenal space, because it's in that transition where things are new. And I think those spaces are the spaces that we, like, one, take for granted, but then two, look back and be like, it was something special that was happening there. And this is what I mean by that. So when I was in high school, Young Thug came out, Rich Homie Quan came out, you know, all these, Lil Uzi, you know, there's the people that are like at the height now, that's when they first came out. Right. And I remember everybody being like, rap is ruined, it's over, it's trash. I remember seeing interviews with like Yachty, he's like our guy, but he just came out at that time. I remember people being like, these guys can't rap, what is this? This isn't rap. And it was kind of like a season where it was just like, this is trash, what's happening to this thing that we love? And it's like, the thing that you love is changing.
Right, I agree.
It's changing, and I think we looked back and we saw that XXL cypher where it was like 21, Uzi, all them people, and now they're at the pinnacle of, like, you know, what it means to be a rap artist. I feel like that's the same thing that's happening in R&B right now. It's changing, and there are elements that's being introduced that's like not the fundamental things, but I think it's paving the way to where, like, 10 years down the line, the people who helped change these things, like the Brysons, the Brents, who else really, like, kind of shifted that mug in? I don't know. It's a lot of people, but I think we'll look back and be like, dang, that was the moment things changed. Like, I don't know, cause I even feel like the '90s was different than.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
I just feel like, and it might be a personal gripe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any more like, okay. And this is a follow-up question, but there are no ballads anymore. So let's take
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Like we made, well, not we, but they made.
Yeah, they was on some. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So I did an interview with a producer here, Southman. And
Yeah.
He said 90s music videos, 90s R&B music videos, you know they was really feeling it when cats started reaching and pulling in the air like.
It was in the rain.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? We're not making that type of music anymore. It's like, if I'm talking to a young lady, it's let's get down to it. Let's get nitty gritty. Let's get butt naked right now. Like, we're just super vulgar with it instead of finessing your way into that.
To be fair, we also not living the same life no more.
That's very true.
Like,
that's very true.
Back then, I feel like, and this is only from what's the word? Observation, because I was like 12 or you know, so when all this stuff was going on, but like, it just looked like people was going on dates. People was buying you flowers. They was like trying to be romantic. Be romantic and invest and do all the things. And now it's like, no, we're not doing none of that.
We crushing or what? Like, just instant. This is,
like what we doing? Like we ain't got time to waste. We ain't got time to be on all that other stuff. It's like, and also on the relationship tip, like, you don't see healthy relationships like that no more either. So even aside from like courtship, maybe you already got your person, and they made songs like, you know, I'm lost without you or whatever. Like even in the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. When he was talking to his wife at the time.
Right.
Relationships is like a lot more toxic. So it's gonna be more, I hate this, cause that's how we really feel. Like, and even though that may not be how we feel all the time, it's a part of this thing that I don't think was openly talked about then, even though it was talked about then.
It was absolutely, again, we just masked it.
Yeah, like, y'all just masked it.
It was a SWV song that they got, like, slaughtered for. Yeah. They was literally talking about I'm finna come creep with your man.
Yeah.
So I guess it was just the packaging.
And even Scrub is basically.
Well, no, she said, I don't want no scrub. They were saying, I don't want this type of guy because you ain't on your P's and Q's. And you trying to holler at me just to get somewhere.
Scrub is the same thing. It's the same.
I can't disagree with you.
I was talking with
my
mom, and she was like, I'm a huge like Griselda fan. So I love Griselda. I love like all of that stuff. And I was playing in the car with her. And she was just like, what is this? What? Oh my God.
That's the true essence of New York.
Yeah. But I'm like, you like Curtis Mayfield, right? He said, I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that nigga in the alley, I'm the...
Yo, Pusha, man, yeah, very true.
What we talking about? Yeah, but I understand it's guitars, it's melodies that make you forget that he really was... This is what he really talking about though, like, but I think it's all packaging, and I think that's the difference. Like, now the packaging looks way different than what it looked like early 2000s or even like the 2010s and stuff. Like, it's looking a lot different. And I think what Jay-Z said, he was like, oh, nigga, stop acting brand new like Tupac ain't have a nose ring too. It's like, none of this stuff is new.
Right.
None of this stuff is new. But I think people forget when they were in the seat of like LL being super sexual or taking his shirt off, and people being like, man, he ain't.
Definitely was. The shirt was off. Every video he had to show. Yeah.
And he's a solid guy. But I remember the narrative was like, man, he makes soft music, or it's just like he's not though. Like
not at all. Not at all. LL is a spitter.
I think that shows how how the narrative can be shifted based off perception. Cause it's still ballads. Like Money Long went crazy for a ballad. Made for Me, Coco Jones makes ballads.
Thank you. You were 100% correct.
You know, like it's still October London is phenomenal.
One of my favorites. Absolutely.
It still exists, and I think if you want to find it, you can find it. I think people be like, man, R&B don't have, and it's like, It does. You gotta go looking for it though. It's
definitely
a little
have
bit
to-
harder to find, but it's there.
You definitely have to search it out. You have to do your due diligence and go
Yeah.
and find it.
Yeah.
The mainstream is not going to push that to the forefront right now. But we know we're not in control of that. But I think that, and that's the greatest part of the social media era.
Yeah.
And the way that media is now, because you can truly become fans of anybody. You can find the sound that you generally like instead of being forced to listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Because from my era growing up, at one point that was all we had.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now with streaming and social media, Facebook, YouTube, you can
Facts.
literally find anybody with any sound that you like.
Exactly.
And only listen to that. So
Yep.
no, so that's all right. So it was a personal vendetta.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my follow-up question. Here's my follow-up question. Is Babyface the greatest ballad writer ever?
Is Babyface?
And I'm asking a young man this question, so I feel like you would have a different perspective on
Is
it.
Babyface the best? First of all, I want to say yes off bat. I'm just thinking to make sure my actual answer is yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's so many great ballad writers. Okay, I'm gonna go two ways.
Okay.
I'm gonna go factual, and I'm gonna go preference. Cause it's two different things.
Gotcha.
I probably am gonna put on a early 2000s ballad before I'm gonna go put on a 90s ballad. This is just me. This is just me.
I mean, but that's your generation.
You
That's
know what I'm
when
saying?
You grew up. That's
Like,
when,
Omarion, I'm trying to like those things. This is my Sorry for 2004. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna probably go there before I go 90s, just in the car, if I'm in the car. So, I really love the Underdogs and what they did for ballads. That's just my preference. I would go them. But factually, when it comes to on paper, when it comes to accolades, awards, just overall put it on and the feels is in the air, I can't go Babyface.
you gotta go Babyface.
I have to, cause even you saw his Tiny Desk?
I have not seen this Tiny Desk. I'm gonna have to check that out.
And I saw like, okay, he got hits. Dang, he did write other hits. Dang, he did movie scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go Babyface. Like, even if you have other preferences, when you take it down and you look, you like, nah, it's him. He's him.
Face was that dude. Yeah.
He's him. I would love to work with Babyface too at some point.
Oh, I think that would be major.
At some point, I would love to.
We speaking that into existence
Man.
right now. Solomon Headen,
Babyface, man. And no rush either. Like
it's
I
gonna
would
be
love
magical.
to. Yeah. Oh my God.
Dope. Okay, so you're a producer as well.
Yes.
Since we're talking about singer, songwriter, producer.
Yes.
Who are some of your favorites? Like, what do you get your influence from in that aspect?
As far as production, I undeniably gotta go Kanye. Undeniably gotta go
Can't go
Pharrell.
wrong.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, cannot go wrong.
They're the top two for me. Tyler the Creator influenced me a lot, production wise. And I can of course say Timbaland, unknowingly. Like I wasn't the biggest like go-to Timbaland guy, but then like I was heavily influenced by Aaliyah. I love Missy Elliott stuff. I love Tweet stuff. I'm like, who made these things?
Tim helped change the
He
sound.
made all these things, so I'm like,
Tim brought that off timing, drum pattern. Like Tim really helped change the sound.
Even sometimes like I'll purposely mess up my drums. Like they'll be quantized and I'll purposely just slide it over a little bit just to give it that off feel. And that was one of the things he did the greatest. So I would have to go top three, even though it's cliche, because everybody says Timbaland, Kanye, Pharrell. But it's true. It's like they're my top three as far as producers, and Tyler as a producer, for sure.
Can't go wrong. I like Tyler the Creator. I don't think what was the name of the group he was with.
Future.
Odd Future. That was it. That was it. I wasn't. again, I'm a little older, so I had to get used to that sound. But I definitely, he has the perfect name, Tyler the Creator.
The Creator, yeah. And he produced. I remember there was a time where like every artist in that group came out with an album, and he produced every album. That was crazy for me. I tried to do that in my own way with just like my people and like throwing different beats at them and stuff like that. But yeah, that was super influential. That was like middle school era for me, so for sure.
It's still there. You never know. You put that catalog together, you could always go back and revisit some of that stuff.
No, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
Artists make timeless music, and I definitely feel you were one of those type artists.
Thank you. I appreciate that for real. Yes, sir.
All right, so you definitely said you would love to collaborate with a Babyface. Who would be like your artist of choice?
Yeah.
Who would be? You had a label came to you and said pick your catalog. Who are you working with to put together like your master thesis project?
I think undeniably I gotta go Brandy. Somehow, some way, like whether we just
vocal beast.
Yeah, whether we on some background vocal stuff, whether she arranging stuff, whether it's a full feature, whatever it is, or just ad libs, like whatever it is, I gotta go Brandy. Let's see. I gotta go. I would love, just me personally, I would love to work with Tank in some way. Some way, form, or fashion.
Tank is a heavyweight.
But also, I'll be on some rap stuff too. Like, I can't lie. So I would love to work with Griselda some way, cause like on some sample stuff, like I feel like some old soul sample stuff, I can get my melodies off, but they can still get the, you know what I'm saying, like the little. I'm a big texture guy, so I'm like, I hear the ad libs over the samples, over the harmonies, over the whole thing. Like, I would love to work with any one of those guys.
You like Neo, you see the music differently.
Yeah.
Neo from the Matrix,
yeah.
Nice.
That's and of course Kanye. Like, however that would be. Like
old Kanye, new Kanye. Well, I guess
all
you
Kanye.
Work with, it's gonna be Kanye.
All Kanye. Like, I'm one of them people that ain't never like been like, nah, I'm off it. Like, I've been a Kanye fan from the jump all the way through. Like, okay. I feel like he's one of those people who he creates where he is, and this is from a observation standpoint, but like it seems like he just creates where he is, and you can see if he's in a peaceful place, if he's in a scattered place, if he's in a angry place. You can feel wherever he is, and I respect that, because you can say, whether you like it or not, this is a true representation of where he was. He didn't force nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
no, I agree with that 100%. 100%. That's good. Okay. And even like
and Chris Brown, my bad. Yeah.
Can't forget Chris.
Can't.
Is Chris the king of R&B right now?
He would have to be. Like, I don't even know who else would be. No disrespect, because we all doing what we doing, but like, he's Chris Brown. I don't know.
I've asked this question as well. Is Chris? Could you put Chris in the same category of like a Michael Jackson? I think people want to compare them and call him. So when I say is he's definitely on top right now. Chris's catalog is extensive.
Yeah, he just did like 96,000 people. Yeah, these are not streams. These are people at a show at one time. That's nuts.
That's tough.
I don't know. I don't. Even he said this in an interview himself. Like, he wouldn't put himself with Michael Jackson. I don't think that should happen. Me personally, I think what Michael did when he did it should be like put on the wall somewhere else. We shouldn't touch that. Mm-hmm. I think for this day and age, he would have to be like the pinnacle. I don't even. Do you? I mean, I'm trying to think like who else would even be.
For me, it's almost like the basketball conversation when you compare LeBron and MJ.
Yeah.
Definitely, they are the GOATs.
Yeah. And
they're doing it in two different eras.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to deny either one.
Right.
I think it ultimately comes down to preference.
And if somebody picks one of the others, like, I mean, okay.
Like you're technically not wrong.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just preference at that point. And to be fair, I wasn't there. Like Mike was already on the Butterfly album by the time I was even aware. So I had to go back and watch Smooth Criminal, watch Billie Jean and stuff, and I was like, wow. But it was on a VHS after DVDs was already out. It was like, that was my experience with Michael Jackson. So, but even then I could still see the greatness. But also I wasn't, cause somebody made a point on a podcast that was like, these young niggas out here, da 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 da. You weren't there. You didn't see Michael Jordan put up 50, da 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 da. You didn't see the impact. And that's like, no, that's facts. We can completely vouch for LeBron, cause I was already 12 or 13 by the time, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see Michael Jordan in real time doing that. So who knows? I'm always go with what's authentic, and I remember Run It coming out. I was at my auntie house when it came out on 106 in Park. Like, I remember it. I wasn't there for Mike. I just
if I had to one up, and I'm not gonna say MJ didn't do it.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, no one has ever been able to dance at the level that Chris does and still hit every note crisp.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Beyonce is doing this. To that level, I don't think Beyonce is doing it. She is definitely dancing. But Beyonce.
Yeah.
Again, it's a very opinionated show.
It's opinionated. But it's opinionated. It's also like, as a singer, I don't know, like Beyonce is a monster. She's just a monster, and I think
I cannot disagree with that.
I think that's why I always be like, man, everybody need their own space. Cause it's like Beyonce does have something that I don't think Mike had. Mike has something I don't think none of these other artists have. Like they all have something to make them special. But that like captivating power, they all have. It's like, how can you really choose unless you have a preference? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm a Chris fan and a Beyonce fan and a Michael Jackson fan. So I'm like, I don't know.
It's a tough question.
For sure.
It's always a conversation for debate. That's why I like to ask that one.
If this was Drink Champs, I have to take a shot for that one. Cause
Got you. Okay. So the space you in now.
Yeah.
Last album, Love FM.
Yes, sir.
Dope project.
Thank you.
Okay, I gotta get into this for a minute because for me, it's certain artists that you don't touch, you don't sample, and you sampled a Jodeci record.
Yes, sir.
And I can't say that you didn't kill it. Like,
Thank you. Yeah.
So, I mean, talk to me about that project. Like, what was the thought process behind it?
Yeah.
Like, what's your feeling? I know you're in a different space. You know, you found love. So you touched on those scenarios. You're a father now. So yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, talk to me about that project.
That project, man, it had many forms. It started off as a mixtape. So my original idea was I wanted to take North Carolina samples or North Carolina artists and sample it, and we was just finna go full, like we from the South. That was my whole thing. So I sampled Jodeci stuff, I sampled some old Nina Simone stuff, I sampled some John Coltrane stuff. These is all things that didn't make it to the album or whatever. But the Jodeci one was just the one that stayed because, and that was one of the reasons why it became Love FM, because it just sounded like you just turned on the radio and that was on.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, that was the first song that I did for the mixtape when the project was still gonna be a mixtape.
Okay.
And so and that was around the time me and my wife was like we had just gotten married, but we was just getting in it. You already know what I mean. It's
yes,
like
sir. Yes, sir.
you're married, happy, love. Oh, we have to do life together. Now this is the marriage. Like, and so, that was one of them things. Stay Down was just on some like exactly what it is. Like we figuring it out, we grinding it out. Like if you stay down, it's gonna be worth it type thing. And yeah, it ended up sticking. And some of the other songs from that project came from the mixtape as well. So like 4 a.m. came from the mixtape.
Okay.
So you could already kind of hear the vibes of like what that was gonna be. I wanted somebody to host on some DJ drama, like. But the more I just kept working, the more I'm an R&B guy at heart. So I stripped all that down, and I'm like, yeah, this feels good without all the excess. And it became Love FM. I used to drive around when I was driving to work, just listening to it. And I'm like, it would be fire if we just made it like, if this was like a radio show. And that's what it was.
I think that's what separates it from, it's many things, but the fact that you had those skits, and you kind of tie every song together. Yeah. Just overall, it just makes, like, you can't skip. You have to listen to it from start to finish.
And that's what I want. That's what I want. Like, I don't want, I'm always like, less is more. I never want anything to interrupt the process. So I had like over 40 songs for the project, and we cut it down to 6 just because. And I like all the songs. Nothing's wrong with any of that. But like, for me, it's like, what's necessary? Like, what can't we live without? And if we can live without it, it should go. Cause we don't want no skips. Like, once you press the skip button, I'm like, So.
Would you ever go back and release some of those unreleased records or put them on another project?
It's 2. That's what's funny. It's 2 songs that I go back and forth with all the time. That I'll forget about it. Somehow I'll find it in my computer. Be like, should I put this out? Nah.
Come on, man.
And then be like,
to the people.
Yeah, I might. I really might on some like. I know one day I will do a mixtape because I'm just in love with mixtapes and like that's just my dream. So whenever it's right, whenever it's not forced, I will do it. And I think one of them, at least one, if not both of those songs will make it for sure. I really wanted to put it on when I released it, but I was like, nah, it's not necessary. So, yeah.
You gave me a ballad on this record too.
Yeah.
And I know I've had several conversations with you about this TBD record.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And then you actually, because it's a couple of versions. You on the Love FM, I guess the part 2.
Yeah.
You got a remix version with don't quote me on saying her name.
It's Ray Louise. Yeah.
But the first one was fire.
Yeah.
And then when I hear her vocals on there, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
She went nuts. That song was originally supposed to be a demo. I wrote it for somebody else, which is why it's in falsetto, because I wrote it for a girl. So, okay. I wrote it for a girl. And then when it came time, again, like when I was just going through all the phases, listening to songs I did, I'm like, I think I'm gonna keep that one. And so,
fire, bro. I'm glad you did.
Man,
I'm glad you did. Another artist, they might have killed it. Yeah. But could they have put on it what you put on it?
Man,
that's the question to be determined.
I appreciate it. No pun intended. Yeah, I see. No, yeah, it was. And I always like duos, like duets. My bad.
Yep.
And so it was like an unintentional duet, but it came out fire. And I'm always with like what feels natural. So I think I put it out. She DM'd me like, "Oh, this is fire. We need to do a remix." I'm like, "Yes, we do." Boom, send it to her. She sent it right back, and that's what it is. It didn't take no time. Like, and I'm grateful that like I just follow my peace with music and don't force it. Like, cause the best things come out of that.
Absolutely, beautiful. And then with you, like, talk to me about a Solomon Headen show. Because I see you all over the place. Again, I don't see you up in New York performing.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And you going to LA.
Yes, sir.
I seen an interview you did in LA. That's where you said you made toxic music.
Yeah.
Then I think you were in Florida, Miami, somewhere not too long ago. So like you're not doing, I don't want to say local shows.
Yeah.
The way the opportunities are coming to you, you're in major cities.
It's God,
pushing your sound. So talk to me what and I know you're doing the live instrumentation. You're playing keys or you're playing guitar or something. So
yes, sir.
Talk to me about a Solomon Headen show. Like what should the people expect if they ever experience a Solomon Headen show?
It's an experience for sure. It's an experience. I'm a musician first, so I always try to give some sort of experience, whether I'm playing keys live or I'm playing guitar live, or I've even brought like a sampler out and like just sampled the drums and did it with just drums, no keys, no backgrounds, no nothing. Like,
nice.
Cause my number one goal is to get you to feel it, right? So sometimes, and I don't know if you ever experienced this, it's like if you've been to shows and like, you know, they have a band, but the band is so loud, you can't really hear them or something. You know what I'm saying? Or it muddies up what they got going on. Or if they just using tracks and it's like, the tracks are cool, but it don't give you the chance to feel it. I don't want none of that to get in the way. So whether we have a band, whether we're using tracks, whatever it is, my number one purpose is to get you to feel it. So a lot of times I'll move around with either just like my keyboardist or like somebody on guitar, and we'll rock out just tracks in them. And once the track go out, we still going. Cause let's feel it. Let's sing with each other. Like I'll give somebody in the crowd the mic and be like, hey, sing this, and they'll be laughing, you know what I'm saying? Probably drunk or whatever. Like the more drinks get flowing, the more fun we have at the shows.
Absolutely.
So I'm all about having fun. I'm all about like I did a show at Vinyl in Atlanta and like passed out flowers to the ladies, just like make them feel special. Make you know what I'm saying? I'll make some jokes and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna have a good show and we gonna have fun. So it could be anything, and the crazy thing is, I don't even know what to expect at the shows. Like, I can't remember who told me this. I cannot remember who told me this. I be wanting to give people credit, but I can't remember who told me. But they said, like, prepare, rehearse, get good at your craft, but leave room for God. And it was just, that stuck with me, because it's like, we're going to rehearse, we're going to be solid, but it's going to be some unknown with every show.
Right.
Because every city is different. So like Miami was super, like, it was a lot of women at the show. Okay. And so that was like a super lovey show. Like I was like really leaning into that part of it. But like New York, there was a lot of like ski mask in that mug, and there was a lot of like the energy was just different. So I got a few songs, like a song that's finna come out on this project called No Way. You know, they ain't really want to sing like that. The dudes ain't really want to sing like that. So I'm on the sampler. I'm hitting them with the 808s. Like we gonna connect somehow, or like even So Far. It's a platform called So Far. I'll tell stories like how I wrote the songs, or like, you know, just kind of connect with the people however I can. So that's the number one goal is connection. I want you to leave here and like remember this night.
Yeah, you're creating an authentic experience for your listener or for the audience to gain a true fan, when they can connect with you on a deeper level.
Yeah.
And they'll always support you. I can dig that.
Yeah.
I can dig that. Okay. Now you talked about rehearsing, preparation.
Yeah.
And I do know you had the opportunity to work with Tobe Nwigwe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
During the pandemic experience?
Pandemic experience. Yep.
So Tobe, to me, he's going to be a legend if he is not already.
For sure.
For creating his own lane, staying independent.
For sure.
And then just like lyrically, he is a monster.
For sure.
But the way that he crafts everything, from, you know, the way the song sounds, incorporating his family, the choreography in his performances in the music videos,
that's nuts.
So do you feel like you had to learn something from that experience? Talk to me about, you know, overall working with Tobe and what stayed with you that you've carried on since then.
I think, well, first of all, that experience was like it put me to the test for sure, because I got the gig 3 days before the show, and there were 18 songs that we had to learn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I auditioned like weeks before, and I guess it was a toss-up because I didn't live in Houston, and they were only looking for like Houston-based singers.
Okay.
So it was a toss-up between like me and other singers or whatever, but they decided on me, and it was like a last-minute decision.
Okay.
So in 3 days, I had to learn 18 songs. Right? Mind you, I'm familiar with his music, but there are a lot of songs that I didn't know that he had as well, that they just, perform all the time. They got it in tuck, so everybody knows these songs but me. So that process pushed me to the limit, because I'm like, or not pushed me to the limit, but just showed me like how much I could actually do, because I was pretty unsure the whole time. Like I was pretty like, oh my God. But then the day of the show, it all snapped in, like we was on it. Like even sometimes I will look back at the videos of like, man, I don't know what that was. Like I had just learned that song, but we singing it like we've been singing it forever. Right. I had solos and different things like that. I had just learned it a few days before. It's like if I got there on Friday, we shot it Sunday. So that was an interesting process. And I think undeniably what I learned from that is just, if you're gonna do it. Like, I know that sounds simple, but like if you've made the commitment and you wanna be somewhere, do it. Like there's no, I could have been like, oh, I don't have enough time, but it's like, show up and do it.
Absolutely.
Like, of course, looking back, I'm a better artist now. I'm a better singer now. I'm a better producer. I'm a better everything. So I look back and say, oh, I could have done that. Or da 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 da. But it's like, it doesn't matter. That's what it was at that point, and I showed up as who I was at that point, and that'll always be a marker for like, because I had just moved to Atlanta when I got the gig. So I was only in Atlanta for like 2 months when I first moved there before I went to Houston. So
it was filmed in Houston. For whatever reason, I'm thinking it was shot in Atlanta.
No, I auditioned when I was still living here in North Carolina. I didn't hear nothing, so I was like, well, I'm going to Atlanta, because I didn't hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. I got there. They're like, oh yeah, can you be in Houston like this weekend? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be there. Mind you,
Facts.
Got no bread. So I'm lying. I'm like, oh, I can get on the flight whenever. So, but
no risk, no reward. You gotta take your chances, and look how it propelled you. Look how it's paid off for you,
man. And that's why I'm like, man, I truly believe in this music thing, and I don't know, man. It's always I feel like to a dreamer, it all makes sense, right? To somebody who's not, it just seems like you're doing a lot until it works, and then it's like, this why. Every sacrifice I made, it was because of this, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw this end game. So that was definitely a piece of my story. It was. I even look back like on the cover art and like, dang, like that was a moment in time, bro, for real. Like absolutely. I had longer hair then. It was just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's also a follow-up question I have, or not a follow-up, but a question I have, because you new look, of course, new man, new look.
Yes, sir.
What made you cut the hair?
Really, it was, I just needed something new. Like, I think I was making new music. I was doing new things. Like, I had different ideas for visuals, different ideas of how I saw myself, or how I saw my fashion, and to be honest, my hair got in the way. Like,
so this was definitely going to be a question I was going to ask you. How did you manage it when you slept? Because that's what I struggle with right now. And I'm not even nearly as long as you were.
Bro, my neck.
Oh my gosh. So this is for every person that has locks.
Yeah.
Listen, I just,
it looked good, but it's not.
Button, but it's no. At night, I got to put it in the sack and
Man.
then throw it over the pillow,
Bro.
and sleep in one position. Because
it's
this
not
stuff is heavy.
It's not. Yeah, no. When I cut it, I could breathe. I said, "Oh my, this is what it is." Like,
See, and I'm in a catch-22 right now because I grew the hair as a statement of solidarity.
Yeah.
When my son was going through a situation.
yeah,
And now my wife has become so in love with it that if I even talk about cutting it off, it's like she is pissed off, and sad.
How dare you? Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to mess up? Because sometimes I just let the hair down and it starts stuff.
Yeah.
You feel as a married man, it
I ain't gonna lie.
stuff.
I do miss every now and then the little joint, the little drop, cause it do got a little thing to it. But I don't. Well, and also I didn't cut them fully.
Yeah, I see that.
So,
you still got it. Yeah.
I still got them, and I may let it grow. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but I just know I had to. And it was like very spur of the moment too. Like, I was making a few songs for this next project. It was feeling different. I was feeling different. I think my son had pulled on them for the last time. I said, all right, I'm cutting these things off.
That I can believe, yeah.
Cause I used to, it got to a point to where it was in the way. I used to sit on them. Like when I sit down, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not that long, but I've definitely put on my shirt and it's caught in the shirt and it's like,
you're like, My son was 1 at the time, so he's finally getting to the, what's this? Yank?
Yeah.
I said, oh nah, bro, it's we got to get out of here. So, yeah, that was really the decision, and it fit. Like as soon as I did it, was listening to the music again, was doing visuals. I'm like, I'm so glad I did this, cause it everything makes sense right now. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Okay. Yeah. So you definitely North Carolina.
Yeah.
From North Carolina, and you made that move to Atlanta. Like you were successful, very successful when you were here.
Yeah.
What inspired the move, and how has your career progressed since leaving and moving to Atlanta? What have been some of the differences between Solomon Headen, North Carolina, and Solomon Headen, ATL?
What inspired the move? I think, well, first, my lease was up. So that's the big one. I gotta find somewhere to stay. I gotta find somewhere to stay. And the thought process was, if I'm finna spend some bread, I want to go somewhere where I really, really desire to be. And I think at that point, I had, I was doing some traveling, and then I was coming back home and feeling kind of like, what's the word? It's kind of like you're exposed to more, or you're exposed to things that you like, that you didn't know existed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so I was coming back home being like, kind of just sad almost, like not depressed, but like just highly sad. And I was traveling back and forth to Atlanta for sessions, and whenever I would be there, I would just feel like, and on the drive back, I'd just be like, bruh, I do not wanna. So
that's 6 hours too.
Man, so it's 5 hours of just dreading being back. It was a lot. And when my lease was up, I said, yeah, bro, I have friends there. I've driven back and forth enough to where like I've developed some connections. I know where the studios are. I know where the food spots are. Like, I can make this happen. And I did. Like, I think I gave my job like 2 weeks notice or something like that, and was really up out of there. And it was really spur of the moment. I didn't tell many people because I didn't know for sure.
Right. Okay.
Like, and I think that was a lot of people was like, you just kind of left. I was like, I didn't know for sure if I was gonna go, because also like, it was really only me and my mama.
Okay.
Right, it's us two.
Yep.
Right. Of course, all my friends, family, everybody, but really when you boil it down, it was me and her. And I wasn't sure I wanted to, mind you, she's grown. So leaving her by herself sounds crazy, because that's not what it is, but that's how you feel as you only child, you her only son.
Yeah.
You like, I don't know if I want to leave my mama by herself. I don't know, like, my friends and family, like they all here. Everything I've ever known was here. I really was very unsure. So I made a decision like a week before. I'm like, undeniably, I have to move out of this apartment. They're not gonna let me stay here. So before I move, I gotta have a plan. And like while I was packing, I was just like, bro, I can't move into another apartment over here, bro. I have to go. Cause there was an open lane for it. And so as soon as I moved, a month later, I was in Houston with Tobe. It just seemed like
it was destined.
It just seemed like it was supposed to happen. And so I think Atlanta gave me an opportunity to just see, like, really just explore more of the things that I have already known that I was interested in, like fashion or film even. You know what I'm saying? Like on some, my goal is to make a short film for this project. And I was able to like do some things with like a film production and like, you know, like, yeah, it really gave me a chance to breathe and like spread my wings on some grown man stuff. Like, cause I left when I was 21. I left when I was 21, yeah. So it just like, even the songs, there were some songs that I probably wouldn't have made cause they was like super, super personal.
Right. If
I was in the face of the people I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, you don't want to, when you hear everything matters. When you're away, you realize none of that stuff that I thought matters.
Correct. And then
matters.
Sometimes being uncomfortable is the best place for us because,
Yeah.
like you said, it shows us what we're capable of.
Yeah.
Being pushed outside of our comfort zone will really make us lock in.
Yeah. You can't rely on, oh, you such and such boy, or you connected to this person. It's
Right.
like, it don't matter what your connections is. Are you fire though? Like, are you?
Right.
Yeah, so I stood on my own too.
Nice, dope. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So last question before we get into the new music. I definitely want you to preview what we got coming up because I believe you're releasing something around Valentine's Day.
Yes, sir. Yes,
which
sir.
Is so very timely.
Yes, sir.
So very timely. But who is Solomon Headen's top 5 R&B?
Top 5 R&B. I gotta go. So of course I'm gonna go Brandy again because she's just like one of my favorite singers.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Brandy. I'm gonna go Chris. I'm gonna go. Can I do that? Yeah. I'm gonna go.
This your top 5.
I gotta go personally. He is soul though. Can I say Prince?
Absolutely.
But that's R&B. It is R&B. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, all right, cool.
That's my number 1. Absolutely.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna go, Brandy, Chris, Prince, Jasmine Sullivan. Got to.
Ooh, vocal monster.
Have to. And then, just me personally, I feel like I go Bryson. Cause
I could see that for the new age.
You have to, like, he's crazy. Yeah. So I think that's my, right now, if you ask me again tomorrow, I'll probably have a different answer. It's just about like, for me, it's just what I be listening to at the time. So.
Would Tank be in your top 10?
Absolutely. He didn't make top 5.
He's
but
honorable mention.
He's always there. And sometimes it's artists that like, it's like a given. It's like it's such a given you don't even put it in your top 5 no more because it's like sometimes when I think about top 5 rappers, I'll leave Kanye out just because he's my favorite. And it's like, I don't even consider that no more. It's like, what am I listening to outside of that? Because that's always, Tank is always in the list. Mike got a real crazy R&B bag. Like, In the Closet is one of my favorite songs from Michael Jackson. Butterflies is one of my favorite songs. He got a real crazy R&B bag. Who else though? Yeah, top 10 gets tricky though, but 5, that's my 5 for sure.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, talk to us about the latest project that you got coming. You dead set on a name, a title for it.
Yep.
You know what the first single is? Like you already working on visuals. Talk to us about it. Set us up so the people are ready.
So I actually haven't given a name on any platform. This is actually the first time I'm giving a name for the project. But
exclusive.
Yeah. The name of the project will be An Hour Before Noon. That's the name of the project. Hour Before Noon. And Dragon Tattoo was the single I just released, and the single I released on February 11th. These are the first 2 singles from the project. And yeah, this process was a lot different than Love FM. Love FM was all over the place. I'll try stuff, do whatever. This time, I was just having fun. I was just having fun again, like, man, not really no thoughts, just feels. Like, just whatever I feel today, that's what we own. And just enjoying the process. I did a lot of digging, like, in the background vocals in these songs. So a lot of these songs have, like, really a lot of stacks or really depth, a lot of depth in the background vocals or whatever. But yeah, man, I was just having fun. Throwing ad-libs in that mug.
Craftsmanship in the music, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Just having fun.
Any features, any guest vocals on this project or?
Nah, so that's this project is fully me.
Oh yeah.
This project is fully me. Of course there was people that I wanted to work with and still will, but it felt good to just lock in myself. Me in a room and just play around with the drums, playing around. I took a lot of care, I can say, in the drums specifically for this project. So this one is less about a story and less about anything other than the love of music, just making good songs. Like, I really this is the most fun I've ever had making music, and
Nice.
I think you'll be able to tell.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got a estimate timetable for when it's dropping. The single is dropping on Valentine's Day.
Single is dropping on Valentine's Day.
So we talking spring, summer, like.
I would love to have it out by April.
By April?
Now, don't quote me, cause I could change, like, the way I work. Also, I could add 10 more songs, or I could take 3 songs off. I don't know, but I am projecting April for sure. If it's not, don't kill me. It'll be out sometime this year, but the single undeniably is February 11th.
Dope. You how many overall tracks did you record for this album? You said you did about 40 for the Love FM.
This one so far, cause mind you, I'm still recording. The way I'm gonna do this one, I shoot visuals soon, and I'm gonna work into that last hour and see how many I have then. But right now, we've done about 25, and a good amount of them have stuck. So again, I say don't quote me because I really don't know what it'll be.
You just gotta see what the people are feeling.
Yeah.
Because it might turn out to where you do like one of these Chris Brown projects and you drop 30 songs on the album and it's
Maybe.
2.5 hours long.
Maybe. I'm still introducing myself. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm always trying to remember, like, I'm introducing myself, but also, I don't care about none of that. Whatever feels right.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever feels right, I'm with. So, yeah, I just recorded a song last night that's gonna go on the project. For real, so.
Dope.
I'm working to the last hour on this one because I'm just having fun. Like, and that was a little different than the last one. Last one I was very focused on, like, trying to make songs that felt a certain type of way, which worked. It worked. Like the TBDs, the Lose, those songs, like it really felt the way I wanted it to feel. But this time, I think I've gotten so comfortable in my craft that I'm just like, whatever it is, we're gonna go with it. I ain't fighting nothing. I ain't forcing nothing. let's just have fun. So I freestyled a lot of these songs.
Nice.
I freestyled a lot of these songs. I one take one of them. So yeah, just fun stuff going on this time. I'm enjoying it.
Listen, we can't wait to experience.
Yes, sir.
An hour before
noon. Yes, sir.
We can't wait. Definitely, if you feel compelled, you could always send it to us and preview this joint.
Oh, yeah.
So we can put together that press release and get it ready for you.
No, for real. So, yes, sir.
It's definitely been a pleasure to sit down with you, bro. I'm finally glad. I am absolutely honored to have this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Before we get out of here, if they don't already know, let the people know where they can follow you online. Give them that social media and all of that.
Yes, sir. You can follow me on all media platforms at Solomon Headen. That's SOLOMON. That's IG, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere that you can find music or you can find content creators. I'm probably on there, and it's all Solomon Headen. So, I appreciate all the love so far. I appreciate all the support so far. I'm completely independent, and we've done things that a lot of people or creators never get a chance to do, just off the love of people. So, man, I appreciate everybody who's ever if you played the song one time, that's one more stream. I appreciate you. Like, it means a lot. We put the single out 2 months ago, and it's already like 18,000 on Spotify. And it's like, without a machine, without playlist support, that's just y'all. So, man, thank y'all. And this new music is coming soon. So, yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it. And I'm pretty sure the single that's coming out for Valentine's Day in advance, you're welcome. Cause I'ma set the stage for you to, you know what I'm saying?
Babies at your own discretion.
You know what I'm saying? At your own discretion, but you're welcome. Cause yeah.
Yes, sir. We can't wait.
Yes, sir.
Definitely appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.